from the best possible angle, the best possible point of view from inside his head.
But why did you write this book? Why? Why did you write this story?
In the first place, I didn't have any other book to write.
Okay.
The second place is
That's a good reason.
yeah, it's a good reason, because otherwise I would have been ghostwriting for someone else if I would have the job. So the second part is it was fun to write, and that's why I kept on writing. I had started 2 other novels before, but they haven't been that much fun, and they came after 50 pages or what. They came to a point where I thought, well, what's happening now? And this Hitler character solved the problem. He needs shelter, he needs something to do, so I have, as a writer, problems to solve, and this keeps the story running.
So there is no political purpose?
In the beginning, no. In the beginning, it was just a funny story. And with a...
It could have been someone else that hit.
No, because I got the idea with Hitler, and the fun comes extremely with Hitler, with the Hitler person. The fun comes because I very fast noticed, after seconds, that in my point of view, it was a German actress called Veronika Ferris, a blonde actress, which I don't like, and I thought he would have liked her. And I at once noticed that if he would like her, all people in Germany would think she must be a bad person, or she must be stupid or someone, because we are used to this everyday model of Hitler thinking that whatever Hitler thinks is good must be bad, and vice versa.
Even in Germany?
Yeah, of course, in Germany, it's an everyday Hitler rule. You would because it's that's how what Hitler thinks is bad must be good. It's the broken down everyday rule about Hitler thinking, I would say. I think it's more or less like this, that in every other country too. But I noticed, of course, I can't tell anything about this actress. I don't know her, but it was a mechanism, and it would be funny to let people agree to him in some points, because now you have to think twice. Is he wrong? Are you wrong? And is it possible that you could be both right, that Hitler could be right? And it shows you the weaknesses of your model about Hitler thinking, and the weaknesses in your thinking about modern society, or whatever else you want to think about. It makes you thinking, because in the worst case you're agreeing to Hitler, and no normal person could leave that standing like that. Well, then I agree to Hitler. No one could be no one could agree to that.
And this book has rather often, I think, been discussed in a political way. What do you think about that? There are discussions about fascism and Nazism and so on.
I didn't get so many of those discussions in Germany. Actually, it was reviewed if you take the media, it was reviewed quite late, mostly. So and then in a quite cultural way. So is the style good? Is it funny or something like that? More that, and in a political way, not so much. From the professional reviewers, the readers, like you can see on Amazon or whatever, wherever you see some reviews in the internet, saw the possibilities and the different layers of the book, which I discovered while writing it myself. And I noticed, it's more than just a funny story. You can show similarities without making it less funny.
What kind of similarities?
One part, it's his rise to power. It's again, it's quite similar to his first one in the 30s. Someone in the beginning totally underestimated. We have him now alone. What can happen to him? And we notice, well, he is reacting fast. He's analyzing his environment, people, persons. He is able to react, to manipulate, to it gives back to him some abilities, and suddenly, again after maybe 80 pages, 100 pages, he's very fast, not so helpless anymore. And this is, this shows that this crazy monster we are used to in everyday thinking, he had abilities, and that's how it could have happened back then. And now, again, by simply listening to him.
So he's a skilled and smart person, intelligent.
I'm afraid so, of course. Yes, he is. He was intelligent, but he was not superhuman. In some place, on the other hand, you see, well, he is able to talk. He is able to convince. He has the self-confidence, which is very important for convincing people. But on the other hand, no one is forced to agree to him. No one is forced to support him. Lots of the support he gets comes from, it comes quite naturally. People, they like his determination, or his secretary. She likes just working for a celebrity, and he's a nice boss, so she wants to keep on working with him. So it's easier than you would think, or than you thought in the beginning, to not to agree, but to support him, or to be alongside with him, or to not stop him. Mostly that's
And this is the situation today in Europe.
In some ways, you can see some similar development. You see that. Look at Hungary. They are doing small steps, and they are looking. Is anyone stopping us? And what resistance do they meet? Almost none. So they keep on, and riding this right wing. How far can we go? It's always like this. You see something you see some similarities, and the book seems to be working especially well in those countries where you can connect to some part from your present or your history. So
it's good selling in Hungary.
In Hungary, in Italy, it's 4th edition. For example, they have Beppe Grillo, a comedian getting politician, and when they saw the book, in some way they almost thought it's written just for them. I couldn't guess the success of Beppe Grillo, but in the beginning, in the end, my Hitler thinks about his political career, and I thought it would be a nice ending. But I never would have guessed that 5 months after writing the book, this Beppe Grillo shows you can rise from nothing as a comedian and you get 20%. 30, 20 years. So the Italians see some of their history and their presence there.
Does this mean that we are not so anti-fascistic, anti-Nazistic as we think we are? That we believe that we are?
In some way, you could say it more generally.
Younger generations.
No, we just don't know why we are Democrats.
We don't know why we are Democrats.
No, why are we Democrats?
Okay.
I'm quite sure we don't know exactly why. Because we could tell you a lot of reasons, but those are reasons we learned and not reasons we are really convinced of. Most people are thinking, no. The other part is more the reason. I think we are Democrats because it's working good and because we are quite wealthy. But it's not difficult to be a Democrat when you're wealthy and when everything is running more or less bearable. The interesting part is when you're hungry, when you have nothing to eat, or if you feel treated unjust or bad, or if you think you're bad, you're feeling bad, then you will quite fast notice how democratic you really are.
And I think maybe Greece is a good example. When they get poor and there's crisis, then there also grows Nazism. Do you think there's a
I'm not sure if Nazism is the first point growing, but you are looking for the guilt elsewhere. You look for other guilty persons. You are more open, at least for extremist points of view, and of course
even left extremism
could be because you are looking for solutions, different solutions, and you.
Is this good?
I don't say if it's no, it's not good, but it's natural. It's quite natural, and you have to.
Is it necessary?
I don't think you can talk about necessity.
I mean, like this, if the democracy is like the middle way in politics, and that it doesn't function, it's only crisis, and people get more and more unemployed. And
the interesting part is why. What was the first reason for dictatorship in the beginning? In ancient Rome, it was because to get fast reactions. And after the danger is over, the good dictator would resign and give the power back to the senators. So one of the weaknesses of democracy is decisions and being fast if it's necessary. And well, you should keep that in mind as a Democrat. But very often they don't keep that in mind. That they, in some way, they should deliver.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's better. We had a.
But that's
what I think is important about democracy is not the politicians you get, but the change you get quite often. So sometimes you have in democracies you had a big coalition of the big parties, which makes changing very difficult.